Today I'm doing a reaction video on the 600 pound. Bear with me now. Ooh. Hold on, hold on.
I have a hard time facing the reality of my life because at my size, at my weight, you purposely avoid everything that brings your awareness to how you appear to other people. And that's how I've tried to live for years. But no matter how hard I try, I can't ignore it now. Because when you get to my size, it's like the world is on my shoulders and all over my body. And it's just globs of fat just like flopping around. Of course, you're not supposed to be this weight, and you're supposed to be able to function as a normal person. And I'm unable to function as a normal person because of all this excess weight. I need to plan every step and move I make. Or I might end up in a situation I can't get out of because I just can't do too much at once. And it makes me feel depressed, unwanted, it makes me feel embarrassed, it makes me anxiety-ridden. It makes me feel lesser than a person. It's like I'm humanizing myself every day. And it's miserable to live like this. My life is miserable because of how big I've let myself get. Because of my love of food. My whole life revolves around food. And I'm constantly thinking about it, craving it, wanting it. There's not a moment where I'm not hungry, and I can't wait to eat because of the joy that it brings me. Food makes me feel like I don't have to feel. Food feels for me. It fills you up from what you feel empty inside. Food gives you that wholesome moment that you're looking for in the day to feel like you matter. It doesn't judge you. It just helps you cope and you feel good. It fulfills that high. The only problem with food is the after effects. As soon as I'm done eating, then it goes back to scheduled programming of feeling depressed and feeling unwanted. Everything you don't want to feel. So I just keep eating and destroying my life to where I'm not even living anymore because I'm just too big. When I was younger, I struggled with my weight, but I just never imagined it would get this bad. I was always a chunky child, and I think that issue started with my mother. My mother, I would not say that she's the sole person why I gained weight, but I could say that she is the person who started it. My mother fed me these large meals to make up for the verbal abuse. My mother was very verbally abusive, and the things that she would say, "You're stupid. I wish I never had you. I wish you were better. I wish you were smaller." And then in turn, dinner would be a few hours later, and she would make you this mass plate because she's felt guilty for calling you stupid all day. So, I took food as love from her, and I wanted that. I wanted to know she felt bad for the things that she would say to me. But my mother made me finish every morsel on that plate. It could be the morsel of in between my finger. You better finish it. Sometimes after I would eat the food, she would be happy about it because it brought her some sort of joy. But if you're a child, you should not be eating an adult-sized meal. But I learned eating is good. And it doesn't matter if you're full if you have more food. You just eat what's made for you. It wasn't the same with my father because there was no judgment of being overweight. I was his little girl. and he just wanted me to be happy. That was my go-to person. He was my best friend. But when I turned 8 years old, my parents' relationship really took a turn for the worst. It became toxic. And then my father decided to leave. But losing my father like that devastated me because he was out of my life so fast. So it was hard for me. And I know it was hard for my mother too. That's when I started putting on a lot more weight. I became extremely depressed for a while and used food as a pick-me-up to make me happy. And over that summer alone, my size more than doubled. I started off at like 60 to 70 pounds. And then by the end of that summer, I was 150 pounds. All the weight gain slowed down when I went back to school. And I wasn't eating as much, but I was still finding ways to sneak food and eat the way that I wanted. And so I put on another 100 pounds in the next 5 years. And I was around 250 when I was 13. And when it got like that was when my mom started to really point out my size. My mother would constantly comment on my weight. Like, she would say, "You're fat, you're a girl, you're supposed to be attractive." So that upset me more. But I also tried to stop eating as much. Just because I wanted all the things my mom was saying to me to stop. And so I lost some weight between the ages of 13 to 15 years old. And then something drastic happened. When I got into high school, I started dating someone. And when I was 15, I got pregnant.
You got pregnant at 15?
I got pregnant and got an abortion. My mother was the one who took me to have the abortion because only my mother knew. But she wasn't happy when I got myself into that situation. But after my abortion and depression, I felt a lot of regret and I felt guilt. So I went back to food to cope with the pain and I started getting bigger. The food didn't make the depression I had go away, and it got too overwhelming for me that I didn't want to do anything. And when I turned 16, I dropped out of high school. And for the next couple years, my life was just eating and sleeping, and I hid. I only had one person I really got close to, and who I considered a true friend. And her name is Shay. She would come over and check on me, and she still does it till this day. But she was the only one who did that then. Other than seeing her and my mom, I was alone, eating all the time. Between 16 and 18, I gained another 100. So I was close to being over 400. But I didn't let my weight gain hold me back. About 4 months into turning 18, I ended up going back to school. And over the summer, I finished barely and graduated. And then I got a job and started to get back on track. And when I was 22, I tried to go to college. I did that and I got a job to pay for all my bills. And it went well at first, you know? The first year was okay. And then I lost my job. I just fell deeper into depression and started eating more.
Have you got a nice looking house though? Can't mess it up.
Yeah, I got you some food.
When I have food, I have happiness.
So how do you give up happiness?
So how do you give up happiness? Even though you know it's killing you.
I'm trying to look for a bag.
I know how I eat is killing me. And if I don't change, I'm going to die. And what scares me most about my life right now